Bhavna, shall we start? Okay. So good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Am I audible? My screen is visible to all of you.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So let me quickly ask one question from all of you in the chat. Who all have attended the previous session from me? Just confirm yes or no. Okay. So except Aditya, Saurabh, rest everyone has mentioned yes. Great. Awesome. So any questions related to the last session related to user research and market research? Anyone having any questions?
I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, Actually, if I want to start one product for rich people, it is very difficult to do the user research now, sir. So how can we approach them?
So, initially, first of all, you should have a clarity about the problem statement, what you want to do and why you want to do and for whom you want to do. Means, suppose if you are going to build a particular product. So first of all, ask three questions from yourself. So what product will do? Means what type of features they will provide, what problem they are solving. Second, why you want to build a particular product? Is it related to solving only problem of a customer, or you want to generate profit or money out of it? And third, who will be your target customer? Who is going to use the product? Is it a child? It is an adult? It is a senior citizen? Or it is a specific class of the working professional, or you can say it is having multiple persona. So first of all, have a clarity about your customer. Once you have those clarity, then only you can conduct the user research among those target persona. If you don't have the clarity about the user, then it's useless to spend time on user research. Clear?
Please, sir, but uh, I have clarity regarding the uh, solving the problem. But how can we approach them?
There are three ways in which you can approach them. I told in the yesterday class also. First is either you can approach one to one via interview. Either you can approach, you can say via survey if they are not approachable to you, via email, via newsletter, or via, you can say, group chat like WhatsApp or Telegram. You can put up the link and ask them to fill up the survey. And third is focus group. Means you have a group of people who belongs to the same persona and approach them and ask their opinion. What do you think that this will solve your problem? Do you feel that this product will actually helpful for you or beneficial in some way? And most important, how much you are willing to pay for our product? In that way, you can approach them. If you don't know how, you can say, who is your persona, then ultimately you will not be able to approach them. Okay, so first of all, you can say if you are completely, you can say, stranger to those particular customer, you can approach via face to face in the social gathering, just like shopping mall is one of them, or you can say supermarket is another them, or any kind of event wherever it is happening in society or community. That is the best way you can approach them. And one more, you can say, category you can approach them is you can run the Instagram ads, which is also called as meta ads, or even you can also approach them via, you can say, Google Forms. You can also approach them via, you can say, social media post, or even you can also reach them via newsletter also. Those who are registered, they will definitely receive the link and they will connect with you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
But by the way, what product you are building? Do you have any specific idea in mind?
No, actually, want no. We have the access to general people, no, like us, but we don't have access to the super rich, uh, the high net worth people. No? So I have doubt that we can. How can we
High
reach?
net worth means HNI customer.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So which product you are building? Tell me. I would maybe able to help you.
As of now, I have no idea.
See, first of all, understand the definition of the HNI customer. These are those customers whose, you can say, willingness to pay doesn't matter. but quality of service and quality of product really matters a lot. Okay, and they are the excessive usage customer. Means these customer don't care about the cost. These customer only care about the quality of the product and services, and most important, they will generate maximum revenue. So where you will get the you can say these customer. One way is to understand those customers who are currently associated with the premium brand, just like shoes, just like the you can say Apple products, or even you can say Ray-Ban glasses, or even the you can say best class automobile they are using. These customer will be easy to approach, and that's how you will be able to convert for your product.
Got it, sir.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone having any questions? Aditya asked one question: how will this approach change when it is a B2B company? See, customers are of two type, as you are aware, Aditya, B2B and B2C. B2B means client focus, and B2C means it is applicable for the mass customer. But B2B count is very less. So for them, you can directly reach out, especially those who are associated long term with a particular brand. And these client will be you can say approachable via tender, or you can say via RFP, that which we also called as request for a proposal, and that how you will be able to approach them. But you have to be very specific why they want to work with you, and what is your expectations, and how much you are willing to pay for those customers. Then only you can attract all the B2B clients. So basically, you have to float the RFP and list down your problem, your objective, your expectations, your demand, your pricing model, as well as expected delivery date. And accordingly, you can approach those particular B2B client and you can work with them. That's how all the companies are actually working in B2B scenario. Okay, so let's get started about the next module, product roadmap and execution. Let me ask one question from all of you. How many of you are using Google Map application? Do you have Google Map application installed in your smartphone?
Yes.
Almost everyone. Okay. What do you think? What this application do actually? What this application do?
We give in the destination and it guides us to the destination.
Means you enter the source and enter the destination, and they will give you the, you can say, the
Exact-
path, right?
The directions of
The
Yeah,
directions and the
directions,
path.
in what time we will reach the destination and the details like that.
Okay, good. So basically, you enter the source, you enter the destination, and based upon that, they will show you multiple routes or multiple roads, right? Now, suppose there are 3 different routes which is visible on the Google Map application. How you select which road you have to travel? Suppose there are 3 routes are there, A, B, C. On what criteria you will select A, B, or C? Tell me. Based on
So
this.
based on the traffic, I mean, it will be kind of showing that yellow or red color kind of thing. That one, that's the first criteria. Second thing is like, because I mean, if it's there's no traffic, then that will be the first criteria. Second criteria can be like no toll gates, something like that.
Okay, so suppose if you are traveling via highway, then the toll will be the major concern, because ultimately you have to pay additional amount, right? And suppose if there is no highway route, you are just traveling within the city, then definitely the toll will not come into the picture, except a few areas where intercity bridges are involved, just like in Mumbai is there. So forget about that scenario within the city. So you selected one, you can say path, that is the, you can say, traffic. And what is the other criteria?
The traffic, like it will kind of showing um, red and yellow kind of colors if there's any based on the traffic.
Okay, based upon the traffic, but traffic directly translate into time. If there is a huge traffic, then
Right.
time, right?
Yeah, so if there's huge traffic, it will translate into it. So based on that, it will be showing like it will take 24 minutes, or like
Okay.
it may take in some other route, it may say, oh, there's
So
no traffic and
traffic is indirectly giving indication to time. Okay.
Yeah, right.
What is the other criteria within city?
The distance.
Huh?
Distance,
Absolutely
maybe.
correct. Absolutely correct. Second one is the distance. How short is the distance with this? Okay. But now there are certain, you can say, expectations from the customers. Some people want shortest distance. Some people don't care about the time. If they have too much time to travel, if they are already in a hurry, then definitely they will go for shortest time. But other will always go for shortest distance, because ultimately you have to burn more fuel of your car, right? Now, point is that there are two ways you have to prioritize. Either you can say distance, or either you can select a particular time. Based upon that, you select a particular route, and the moment you select the particular route, you will get notified where you have to go, left, right, straight, or suppose if any obstacle coming up, you will get notified through the Google Map, right? So basically, you are getting a complete road on the map, that how long your road is about, what kind of obstacles is coming up, what are the nearby locations on that road, and you will be able to reach the destination which is visible on your Google Map, which is visible via ETA, expected time of arrival. So Google Map is basically the classic example of your product roadmap, a classic example of your roadmap. Basically, you are getting a complete road on the map which you have to travel so that you will be able to reach the destination on time. Same thing apply in case of product management also. You have to create a roadmap so that you will analyze how much budget you have, how much time you have to build a particular product, what features you have to build, for whom you have to build, how you have to build, who are the stakeholders involved, and what are the tools and techniques you require to build particular feature. So it's a complete roadmap from the idea to delivery. You have certain business idea in your mind, and how you convert your idea into a product delivery in the form of features. That is all about your product roadmap. And how you execute, it's based upon the different type of stakeholders, the different type of tasks, the different type of roles and responsibilities assigned, and ultimately the end user will receive the features. That is about your product roadmap as well as execution. So next, I can say product roadmap is all about a statement of intent. It is a statement of your, you can say, business idea, which you want to convert into the execution. It's just like something you have in your mind in the form of a dream, and how you convert your dream into reality. And this roadmap is actually communicate each and everything, whether you have a short-term goal, long-term goal, and what features you want to build up. And most important, it will visually display each and every item, like your time, your stakeholders, your, you can say, task, your features, as well as your end user. And if it is taking too much time, you always keep all the stakeholders informed. And once you create the roadmap, every quarterly or every fortnightly or every weekly, you have a status with all the stakeholders. Where are we right now? How much, you can say, it is left? And most important, what are the obstacles? What are the issues? What are the challenges you are facing? So that you notify other stakeholders well in advance, and they become informed about your decisions, and they will not get surprised or shocked at a later stage. And this roadmap is applicable for all the cross-functional team members, just like your engineers, designers, business stakeholders, your legal, nodal, or even HR, or even supply chain, logistic, operations. All these stakeholders will have the access of this particular roadmap. It's just like a high-level plan. It's high-level plan that will actually help you to communicate your business idea from, you can say, all the stakeholders toward the final delivery, and keep on, you can say, getting the status update everywhere. Let me give simple example. When you enrolled in the Growth Junction, you can say, product management course, during the webinar, the initial webinar, which was taken by Jahangir, he has given you the complete roadmap, like what you will learn in week 1, what you will learn in week 2, who is going to teach this particular topic, what is the duration of that particular course, and what about the capstone project, how many, you can say, session will happen, what is expected to deliver as part of your homework. And slowly, once the module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are over, Then lastly, what will be the criteria to prepare for the PM resume, how you will be able to prepare for the, you can say, product management interviews, what are the sessions involved, and in future, if you need any kind of support or one-to-one mentorship, then how you can go about it. Complete roadmap of 6 weeks was shared well in advance about this particular course, so that you become informed about the timing of the session, and you will not be able to miss any of the sessions. And in case if you miss any of the session due to XYZ reason or other personal or professional commitment, you can watch the recording later on. So that's how you will have a complete clarity how your course will go about it. I hope this is clear. Okay, now how many type of roadmaps are there? There are 3 different type of roadmaps are there. First is you have a no date and timeline. You don't have date, you don't have time. Means you don't have to showcase anything when you have to start, when you have to end. It is basically used at the initial stages of your product management. Means when you are showcasing high level overview about the product in different stages, just like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Okay. And you also mapped with the different type of teams. You will map with the different type of teams, like what solution development team will do, what product team will do, what designing team will do, UI UX team, and what quality management team will do. And you list down the task as per the different versions or different phases. Like suppose the phase is 1.1, what you will do and what development team will do. In the phase 1.2, what are the tasks the development team will do? Similarly, phase 1.3, what are the tasks the product team will do? So on high level, you will project the different type of teams and what are the tasks they will do in different type of phases. And these phases are not applicable every day or every week or every quarter. No, it is all about maybe multiple years. Just like suppose phase 1 is about to launch. Let's take example, suppose March 2025. Phase 1.2 or phase 2 is about to launch on 30th September 2025. Phase 1.3 will be launched on 31st December 2025. Or suppose phase 1.4 is about to launch in 31st of May 2026, means next year. So on a higher level, you will share each and everything, what the team members are doing, but you are not providing any timeline. You are not providing any kind of date here. The reason being is because you are not sure how much time it will take. You are just sharing the proposal beforehand to all the stakeholders. That's why they don't have the date and timeline. Then,
Yeah,
yeah,
Priyank, one question. When you say launch, it is like the starting of, right?
expected launch.
Yeah,
Expected.
that means like we are starting work on one when you say like 1.1,
Mhm.
that means like we are supposed like
Yeah, it is a
and
proposed date. It is a proposed
yeah,
date.
the proposed date that we'll start working on maybe like
Absolutely.
March 1st we'll start working on 1.1.
Absolutely.
Okay, and one maybe like even maybe in June we'll start working on 1.2 like that.
Yeah, yeah,
That is what you meant by launch, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
And these kind of phases actually involved a large amount of capex and opex. So once the stakeholders are agreed, then only you will proceed further for different stages. Or maybe suppose there are unforeseen circumstances involved where you need to obtain different approvals, just like government bodies or legal and nodal bodies. That is also creating a challenge. That's why you don't highlight the date and time here. You are just proposing on higher level with respect to different phases to all the stakeholders. Okay. Second is you have a hybrid. In hybrid, you mention the year as well as the month. But here, you don't mention the detailed timeline here. You just proposing in the form of a month and year in terms of what you are doing right now, what you want to do in short term, and what you want to do in the long term, just like current, near term, and future. Near term means about 0 to 3 years. Future means beyond 6 months. Means अभी क्या करने हो, कभी क्या कर रहे हो, next 3 months में क्या करने वाले हो, और अगले 6 महीने से 1 साल के बीच में क्या करने वाले हो. So once all the stakeholders agreed about the task, then you highlight in terms of the month. because currently you are working in phase 1. That is becoming your current one. Then you showcase the near term. This is about your phase 2. And then the long term, it can be subsequent phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, and so on. So in 3 different buckets, you are showcasing month-on-month progress of your product. That is basically called as hybrid. Now this hybrid actually basically applicable when you already started working on the features, and as the product is going to mature over month to quarter, then you are in a better shape to showcase the status and also convince the stakeholders about your short-term goal as well as long-term goal. That's how all the stakeholders become intact about your progress update. And one last type of roadmap is basically called as complete timeline base. Here you involve different departments also, and you involve each and everything like month, year, as well as quarter. And you also highlight the complete timeline of different kind of tasks. Let me give an example. Suppose if you see the finance, this finance team actually working on different tasks, just like evaluation of cost and complexity, cash flow statement they are updating. They are also doing break-even analysis. And with the help of this timeline, you will understand that they will start this particular cost and complexity analysis. Suppose they will starting with, you can say, quarter 2 of financial year, and it will take minimum 3 months. And in parallel, they are also doing an activity about the cash flow statement and commission reconstructing. Same thing applicable for the sales team. They are doing one activity here, and it is taking about 4 months. And when this activity is about to close, they will start another activity in parallel. So how many activities are in sequential, how many activities are dependent, and how many activities are working in parallel? So you get notified with different type of activities of different type of departments or stakeholders in the form of a month, year, or quarter. Now, whenever any status update meeting is planned, suppose you are conducting a meeting in suppose quarter 2 of suppose April month, and then you will see, are you on the right track here? How many tasks are completed? How many tasks are still pending? Now, if it is pending, who is working on that task? What are the challenges involved? Is there any dependency? You actually discuss in that meeting and inform all the stakeholders. If you need any kind of support, that will be discussed straight away on the table. So that's how you will have a high level agenda on table to have a conversation with all the stakeholders with respect to month on month or quarter on quarter conversations. So this is the complete detailed overview of the current situation. So you have a hybrid, you have a timeline, and you have a no date and timeline kind of a roadmap here. So if you are at the beginning stage, you always go for no date and timeline. If you are already building something and you have a clarity about short term and long term, you will go for hybrid. But if you are want to focus on present situation, then you always focus on timeline. This is how you can set the type of a roadmap applicable for you. Any questions so far?
Yes, Priyank. How do we prioritize the features that we would be working on? The short-term goals, like in this 6 month, we'll be working on X feature, and the next 6 months we would be working on the Y feature. So how do we prioritize that?
This is the agenda of the next couple of slides. Don't worry. I am going to cover in next 15 to 20 minutes. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So now, before jumping into execution, the product manager actually creates one document which is called as PRD. I'm sure most of you have heard that name as well. This is basically called as product requirement documentation. Product requirement documentation. And this PRD will actually have 5 different components. First is the objective. Second is the complete feature detail. And then it highlights the user experience. Then the complete release plan. And finally, during the closure, you have to obtain the stakeholder sign-off. Let's discuss one by one. First of all, when you are about to build any product, you have to list down the objective. You have to list down the objective. Means why you want to build a product, for whom you want to build a product, what is the problem you are going to solve, and once the product is built, then how you measure its success. Means what are the metric and KPI you are going to define so that you will evaluate the success of your product as quickly as possible. This is your performance parameter. So you will decide complete objective beforehand so that you communicate all the stakeholders beforehand that this is the necessity for building a particular product. Okay, so complete objective or clarity needs to be documented by product manager so that once the product manager start interacting with the designers or engineers or even the business development team, they become aware why this product is required, what is the necessity, it is a genuine problem or just a casual problem, and if it is a genuine problem, how you are going to solve it. Then you have to list down all the features, like how many options would be there, are you building a physical product or a digital product, what is the user story, what are the individual requirement from the user perspective, what assumptions you are considering, what options you can provide and what options you can't provide because of technology, you can say limitations, and what will be the flow chart. Means if suppose you click on one option, then what will be the next option, what will be the second option, then you will discuss about all the challenges here or all the dependency. So complete product, their features, their requirement, you list down here. Just like, let me give example. Suppose if you are building a Paytm app. Now in Paytm app, initially they have started with just wallet to wallet transfer. Suppose one person has already wallet account. Now later on, they have to send the money via wallet to other person. But suppose if you want to build, you can say a product just like Amazon, then in that case, you have to create multiple product categories, you have to create different components, you have to link with the payment gateway, and you have to generate the order ID, and along with you have to generate the feature, especially the cancellation or refund process. So those features you want to build up so that customer can navigate from one option to the last option, means last mile delivery. So complete features you will deep dive here in this particular segment. Then you highlight the third component, that is user experience. This is applicable for the designers because they talk about the visual representation, like how you will navigate from one option to another option, how many stages are involved. You will create a sample diagram which we called as wireframe. It's a basically crude diagram in the nascent stages so that you will get clarity how your product will look like. That complete design will evolve from this wireframe only, and you add as many screenshots as possible from the different tool we are using, like Balsamiq, we are using Figma, Canva, or even Zeppelin, or even POP, multiple tools we are using. And according to that, we will add those particular snapshots so that everyone will have a clarity that this is how the product will look like. Then the next part is release plan. Now, how you are going to launch? Are you going to launch the complete product as a whole, or you are creating just MVP, which is called as minimum viable product? Minimum viable product is a version of the product that actually talk about the minimum set of features you want to include in the phase one that will solve the basic purpose of a customer. Means initially you don't want to provide all the features, but the only basic version of the product so that the category of customer will get satisfied from your product delivery, and later on you will provide the incremental features. Now, when you are going to launch those features, what is the target launch date and what is the subsequent launch of the different kind of, you can say, stages that will cover in your release plan. And finally, once the product is delivered, then how you are able to get the sign off, how many stakeholders are involved, what is the criteria to declare the closing of the product. And in future, if you want to provide further improvement, who will be the for future stakeholders? Complete clarity you have to list down in this particular document. So 5 different components you have to create as a product manager and create a high level document and share with all the stakeholders well in advance before building a particular product. So it's just like the complete roadmap you are classifying under a document. And this is the product manager responsibility to create the PRD. Now, one thing you have to remember here is that if you create each and every thing in this PRD, but still there is no guarantee that you will deliver the product on time because of one common reason. Products are getting delayed because of people issues rather than tech issues. Tech issues means there is some limitations on the technology front, some dependencies are there, or sometimes you don't have the licenses, sometimes you don't know whether this technology will serve the purpose or not. But these are very common issues. But still, it is not a showstopper. Showstopper is something different, which is related to people issues. Now, what do you mean by people issues? It can be different stakeholders who have different level of understanding from you. Means suppose you say something, but they interpret different thing and they come up with a different kind of features. Sometimes there is a dependency due to the resources. So they left the company or new person will join, and till the time they become cross-skilled or upskilled, it is creating a delay. Sometimes your higher stakeholders like finance or marketing or business development or strategy team, they are not going to provide approval on time. Or suppose budget is a concern. Due to this, you are not able to launch. Or suppose at the last stage, when you are about to launch, government is giving you not giving you approval. Then it becomes a showstopper. So because of people issues also, the products are getting delayed. Whatever the timeline you set, sometimes you are not able to meet. That's why you have to keep buffer in advance, so that if any people issues or tech issues involved, still you will manage to achieve the deadline. Any questions so far?
Yes, can you please tell what's corner stories once? Right now in the second product feature details. Try
Sorry,
to cover corner stories. What's corner stories?
I will
Those are
cover.
like edge
Don't worry.
cases. Those are like edge cases, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah,
Frank?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I do have one question. You said like in the user experience, the third one, add screenshots from competitor if possible.
Yeah.
I mean, is that okay? Like because I mean, if you're doing it for the customer, then customer will say like they already have a product.
Yeah, but
Maybe
you
some
are creating a
questions.
different version of the product. Huh?
Yeah,
And
but you're
there
adding
are
like,
multiple options in the market. Suppose you are creating, suppose initially you have the Paytm in the market, and suppose you
Mhm.
are building the PhonePe app, but you actually take the reference that what they are providing. And now, if we are building the product, we will provide 10 additional features here. So that's why you add the screenshot of the existing options, so that they become aware that what different you are doing and why there is a need. Let me give simple example. If you have closely used Paytm app, Google Pay, as well as Phone Pay. Now, there is one specific feature which is there in Paytm, but not in Phone Pay and Google Pay. That is search feature in the, you can say, transactional, you can say detail. Suppose right now you are paying too much money via UPI to different people, and you have the complete description in your transaction detail, like on which date you made transfer, how much money you received. But suppose Mohan is one of the customer, and suppose another customer is, let's take example, Amit. Now Amit want to see how much money he transferred to Mohan till date, how much money he has to transfer. If you use Google Pay or Phone Pay, you have to manually see each and every single entry. You have to use each and every single entry. But if you want to use the search feature in Paytm, you will see all the entries related to Mohan only.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you will be able to visualize it.
So basically, like you have to show like what is the existing feature in our competitors list, and then how we are going to modify it. I mean, how our screen will be looking better, and what features we are going to cover, and
Absolutely.
what additional features or like what competitive features that we'll be able to provide to the user end user.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
So that's how you will be able to bifurcate with the features in the market, and you will be able to see showcase everything. Now here, one more requirement which is applicable here, that is user story. What is user story? User story is basically the requirement from the user perspective. User story is the requirement from the user perspective, so that they will do certain actions and they will achieve the outcome. Just like suppose, if I am building a Amazon application, now how I will write the requirement from the user perspective. I, as a user, I would be able to search from a specific product category, so that once I select the product and move to add to cart, I would be able to make the payment via different payment options and able to generate my order ID successfully. It's a statement in plain English language, so that I would be able to know why I am doing this and what is the desired objective I have in my mind, so that once I achieve, I would be happy. Just like, let me give an example. Right now, I am using Zoom application right now. So how I will write the user story for the trainer or instructor perspective? I, as an instructor, I should be able to use the screen sharing feature so that I can present my screen and all the viewers will be able to see what I am showcasing, what I am talking about, and they would be able to have a world-class learning experience. I, as an instructor, I should be able to create a breakout room so that in each room, I will have minimum 3 to 5 participants each, and I will set a time of 15 to 20 minutes so that they have a 1:1 conversation among in the shortest group. I, as an instructor, I would be able to send the detail via chat option so that users get notified and they will download my PPT through the required link. So this is how you can write the user story from their perspective. So basically, you are not building the features from your perspective. You are building the features from the user perspective. That's why it is called as user story. आप अपने लिए फीचर्स नहीं बना रहे हो, ये ध्यान रखना. प्रोडक्ट आप बना रहे हो कस्टमर के लिए, यूजर्स के लिए, and you have to write the features from the user mindset. That is how it will add impact here. Any questions so far? Okay.
So the product manager will also define the acceptance criteria or only the user story?
No. Product manager define the features and
Okay.
provide high level user story. Thereafter, one person, which is called as product owner, they will write detailed user story and their acceptance criteria.
Okay.
So, and product owner is reporting to product manager.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so product owner is a person who belongs to the team of a product manager, or multiple product owners are reporting to product manager. Basically, product manager will tell you about what product you want to build, who is the customer, what is the high level problems you are going to solve, and who is the target persona. And they will share the detailed set of features also. Now, when you bifurcate the features into user story level, then the product owner will come into the picture, and product owner define their acceptance criteria. Okay. Now, for each user story, you will define their OKR. OKR stands for objective and key result. Objective means the goal. Result means what you want to achieve. And for each result, you define the criteria. Let me give an example. Suppose if your objective is to increase the checkout rate for Flipkart shopping app. What is checkout rate? Checkout rate means you can say, suppose 100 customers log in onto the Flipkart application, but out of 100, only 10 to 15 customer actually purchase something. मतलब 100 लोगों ने ऐप ओपन करी and 100 यूजर्स ने सिर्फ 15 यूजर ऐसे थे जिन्होंने एक्चुअली प्रोडक्ट परचेज किया. Only 15. What will be the checkout rate? 15%. But does this matter? Checkout rate, if you have to increase, definitely matter, because Flipkart will get the money only if customer will generate the order ID. जब तक वो order ही place नहीं करेगा, Flipkart को पैसा मिलेगा ही. That's why you have to improve the checkout rate. Now, how you will improve the checkout rate? First result you want to achieve is you have to reduce the click at the checkout. अगर किसी customer को बार-बार कहीं पे click करना पड़े, customer will give up. Do you know how many steps you perform if you purchase anything on Flipkart? First step is you open the mobile app. By default, you save your credential, user ID, password. You directly go to the home page. Then the second step is you type something in the search bar. And based upon the search bar result, you will see the different kind of options. Then the third stage is you manually click those particular product result and see their detail in terms of features, in terms of pricing, in terms of seller reviews or user reviews. Then fourth step is you select the product and move to add to cart, which is also called as virtual trolley. Then fifth step, you go to the add to cart, you increase the quantity or reduce the quantity and proceed for the payment gateway. Then fifth step, you select the mode of payment like credit card, debit card, wallet, UPI, or cash on delivery if applicable, or even you can say net banking. And then finally, you make the payment, validate via OTP, you get the order ID. So minimum 6 steps you are performing. Let's take example. If Flipkart asks you, don't perform in 6 steps, you have to select different options in 15 different stages. But do you spend that time? Customer become annoyed. Customer become frustrated. 6 step तो लगेंगे, but कितना reduce कर सकते हो? That actually increase your chances. Why maximum customer don't purchase anything? If you make the things complicated, customer become confused. Customer not able to reach at the last. If suppose you remove the seller reviews, if you remove the feedback rating of the customer, will the customer purchase it? Never. Customer कभी purchase नहीं करेगा. आप feedback हटा दो, customer एक भी purchase नहीं करेगा, चाहे कितना ही loyal customer क्यों ना हो. So how you will be able to increase the chances of the customer by reducing the number of click? That will ultimately increase the outcome. Or reduce drop off at the payment payment screen. Maybe you can include different type of discount or cashback or different kind of options for the customer so that they can purchase it. Or third, you can improve the customer satisfaction by, you can say, after purchasing, you can drop a note that please share the feedback. This will increase your feature for the later stage for the future customer. So that's how you will be able to achieve the result. So basically, you are setting an objective and proposing the result, and how you execute the result, you present different kind of options, and that is actually plays an important role. Let me give another example. Do you know, you can say there is one particular problem in Myntra app, and especially for Generation Z customer. The problem is the return rate is very high. Return rate मतलब आपने जो खरीदा और जितने प्रोडक्ट वापस डिलीवर हुए उनको आपने रिसीव नहीं किए, वापस भेज दिए. That rate is very high. Right now their return rate is approximately 7 to 8%. मतलब हर 100 कस्टमर में से 7 से 8 ऐसे कस्टमर है जो ऑर्डर रिटर्न कर देते हैं रिप्लेसमेंट के लिए. Now why it is happening? Because of multiple, you can say, reason. First is it is a customer attitude issue. जो आज के जनरेशन कस्टमर्स हैं, जनरेशन जेड, वो सबसे ज्यादा गारमेंट्स वहीं से परचेस करते हैं. पार्टी वेयर हो गया, कैजुअल वेयर हो गया, ऑफिस वेयर हो गया. एंड व्हाट दे विल डू, as they are into the online shopping, you can say, method, they are confused about their body shape and size. अगर किसी को मीडियम साइज की टी शर्ट आ रही होगी, वो स्मॉल भी ऑर्डर कर देगा, लार्ज भी कर देगा, कोई तो फिट आएगी. और समटाइम दे आर नॉट शेयर अबाउट द शेड ऑफ द टी शर्ट. वो ब्लू भी ऑर्डर कर देंगे, स्काई ब्लू भी ऑर्डर कर देंगे, डार्क ब्लू भी ऑर्डर कर देंगे. एंड दे ऑर्डर 5 to 6, but there is, you can say, take only one and return rest of them. And if they do multiple times, they got penalized by the Myntra app because it is increasing the reverse logistic cost. आप वापस करोगे, cost कौन bear करेगा? One time is okay, twice is okay, but every time you are returning, then Myntra will not give you any kind of options. They will disable the return option for you in the app. अब दूसरों को दिखाई दे रही होगी, आपको नहीं दिखाई दे रही होगी. So what type of, you can say, method they are using? They will disable all the promotional offers. You will not get any kind of, you can say, wildcard entry in the big mega festival sale. These options will not be applicable for you. And they will track those customers frequently. कौन से customer है? They will apply the flag on your profile also. That's how they are taking stringent measures so that they will reduce the return rate from 10% to 6% or from 6% to 5%. That is
but before disabling it, will they not do a analysis on the customer, like why he is returning it?
Let's see, they will apply the holding period for a particular month. Let's take example, 2 weeks, 5, you can say 4 weeks and all. After that, they will be able to see the return option for the next product. So, but you will not be able to see why this option is not visible. Sometimes on the Amazon also you see, Mohan, that return is not applicable for this, or replacement option is not available. You have to talk directly to the customer care, and they will place the replacement request on your behalf.
Okay.
आपने कभी देखा होगा जब भी Amazon
I
पे
did have, because
Correct,
it
correct.
happens mostly with my wife actually.
yeah.
She returns a
Let me
lot.
tell you, during the grand festival days, na, just like in Diwali or Navratri or even Holi, okay, they disable the feature for the replacement or refund. ये हटा ही देते हैं क्योंकि उसमें मास में बल्क ऑर्डरिंग हो रही होती है एंड यू हैव टू physically call the customer care and they will place the replacement or refund option on your behalf. But customer can't do it. But on normal days, you will see this particular option so that the reverse logistic cost will be minimized. एक तो वैसे ही आपको चीज सस्ते में दे रहे हैं डिस्काउंट में, उसके बाद आप वापस कर रहे हो, फिर कंपनी ने क्या कमाया? That's why the objective is to reduce the reverse logistic cost. So that's how you can save with the help of this particular OKR. Clear?
Priyank, I
Yes.
have a question on this.
Yeah.
Like, what's how the hierarchy would be? Like, is this something like user stories is behind the OKR, or OKR is behind the user stories?
OKR is included in the, user stories is included in the OKR. So it's just a subset. So first you define the objective, then you list down the expected result. And in order to achieve the expected result, what are the user stories you have to write down?
Okay,
So
okay, got
user
it.
story is the finest component of expected result in OKR.
So it seems like for one objective, we can have the multiple user stories as well.
Absolutely. Multiple user story would be there. Just as
Okay.
suppose, Amit, there is let me give one example. Suppose in your company, you have to increase the diversity ratio.
Okay.
But suppose there are 100 employees are there. Right
Mhm.
now, out of 100 employees, suppose 80 are male and 20 are female.
Okay.
But now suppose if you want to increase the diversity ratio from 80s to 22, let's take example 60s to 40.
Okay.
Now what you will do, there are two different types of measures you can adopt. First is you stop hiring the replacement for the male candidate. You directly hire female in replacement of the exit employee.
Exactly.
Second, for the new joiner, you prefer male candidate to be higher as compared to, female candidate to be higher as compared to male.
Absolutely.
Or third measure you can do, whenever any new role is coming up, or suppose you can say some person left, but you want to promote internal employees, then you will prefer only female for that.
Okay.
So this will be the expected result. Now, how you will do achieve the expected result? You will define the user story, like how you select which female is the right person, how you can cross skill and upskill with the help of training, mentorship, and coaching programs, and how you will set their goal. So
Got it.
that will become your user story. करना कैसे है वो user story हो गया, क्या करना चाहते हो वो result हो गया, और क्या achieve करना है वो आपका objective हो गया.
Okay.
That's how you will execute at the ground level.
Basically, as a product manager, we have to more focus on the OKR. Yes, we have to focus on user stories, but we have to focus on the OKR. Or what do you think about that?
First of all, you have a clarity about objective. Then, as a product manager, how you will achieve that objective, and based upon that, what features you want to build, what user story you want to build, that will be coming at the ground level. Just say, for example, if suppose product manager role is to reduce the screen time of the you can say kids, or suppose children. Suppose if they are using Instagram app, okay, and if they are using Instagram app, definitely the people will scroll reel again and again.
Yeah.
Now, how you will reduce the screen time? The product manager can include the option that parents can set the particular timer that after 30 minutes, the Instagram app will be stopped. Unless you don't restart your smartphone, it will not open the Instagram app ever again with the same user. So how this feature can be built up? You have to create an option in the Instagram app and give the rights to the parents so that it will be closed automatically.
Yes.
And third, you will be automatically display that during the particular week, you consume too much amount of time on this particular Instagram application. So how you build, what is the interface, and most important, what is the front end, what is the back end you will do, that will come under your user story.
Okay. Makes sense.
So this is how you have to target first objective, then result, and then user story.
Okay. Makes sense to me. Thank you.
Now coming to the prioritization, someone has asked me the question how you prioritize the features or how you prioritize a user story. Means which feature, which story you have to build first, then second, then third. So basically you will have to prioritize it. So there are multiple methods involved. First is the t-shirt sizing. Just like your t-shirt will have multiple size, like extra small, small, then medium, then large, then extra large, then double XL, triple XL, like this. So basically different size means different area of your cloth, and ultimately it will fit for the different body shape and size. So small t-shirt, you will have a small amount of cloth. Big t-shirt will have a bigger amount of the cloth. Same thing you will apply here. So with the help of the t-shirt sizing, you will assign the different type of days involved. Like extra small, you will assign a particular, you can say, label only if you are sure that this feature can be built in max to max 1 or 2 days. मतलब एक दो दिन में अगर कोई feature बन जाएगा, you will give the label excess, that is extra small. If you feel that this feature will build in 5 days or 1 week, then you will get a label as S. If you feel that this feature can be built in 2 weeks, then you will assign a label M. If you feel this feature will take 1 month or 4 weeks, you will apply the label L. And beyond 2 months, the XL. So one way is, depending upon the number of days of your implementation, you will apply the right label. Second is, what is the approximate value you are getting from a feature? Suppose if you are getting a value up to 1 lakh rupees, or you can say 1 lakh customer can be impacted, then you will apply excess. Or suppose if you feel that minimum 10 lakh customer can be impacted or minimum 10 lakh revenue is coming up, then you will apply the priority as XL. So this is how you can apply the label. But after that, you can say map with the help of value and effort metrics. Value means in terms of the business outcome, how much profit you are getting or how much revenue you are getting, that is called as value. Effort means how much time you are investing in building a particular user story. So all the features, first of all, you have to do the self-evaluation in terms of money or value, or in terms of the time you are implementing a particular user story. So suppose if your feature is giving highest value, but consume minimum time to build, then this will be given as first priority. Second priority should be given to those features who give maximum value but consume more time. मतलब पहले उनको टाइम वैल्यू दोगे जो सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉफिट दे रहा है बट कम टाइम में बन रहा है. Then later on, priority given to those features who give higher value, no doubt, but consume more time now. Then you have to give value to those features who give lesser value and lesser time. मतलब ज्यादा प्रॉफिट नहीं दे रहे और कम टाइम में बन रहा है. एंड लास्ट यू हैव टू गिव द प्रायोरिटी फॉर दोस जो वैल्यू भी नहीं देगा और सबसे ज्यादा टाइम कंज्यूम करेगा. सो दिस विल बी कॉल्ड एज मनी पिट, मीन सबसे ज्यादा टाइम कंज्यूम कर रहा है. तो फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी, सेकंड प्रायोरिटी, थर्ड प्रायोरिटी एंड फोर्थ प्रायोरिटी. मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं इसको समझाने के लिए. आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट हैव अपीयर्ड इन द इंजीनियरिंग एंट्रेंस एग्जाम. जब आपने 12th करी होगी, इंजीनियरिंग एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में बैठे होगे या मेडिकल के एग्जाम में बैठे होगे पक्का. एंड डेफिनेटली द कॉलेजेस हैव कंडक्टेड द ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप क्वेश्चन. याद है कि नहीं है? Now during the objective exam, what would you do? Suppose there are 150 questions are there and you have to attempt in 3 hours. मतलब 180 मिनट है, 150 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करने हैं. Maybe you have studied all the topics, maybe you studied some topics partially, or maybe you don't know much about the topic. ज्यादा पढ़ाई नहीं करी है, कंफ्यूज हो क्या करना है. और कुछ टॉपिक ऐसे जो आपने कभी बिल्कुल पढ़ा ही नहीं है, बिना पढ़े आप एग्जाम देने पहुंच गए. Now when you are appearing in the exam, which question you start first? पहले उनको स्टार्ट करोगे जिनके आंसर आपको आते हैं, और you are about to start with those questions where out of 4 you are confused that 2 options are correct, 2 are wrong. बट कौन सा सही है आपको पता नहीं. You are confused because आपने ज्यादा डिटेल में पढ़ाई नहीं करी. थर्ड, आपने बिल्कुल भी पढ़ाई नहीं करी, कुछ भी पता नहीं है, या वो क्वेश्चन पहले स्टार्ट करोगे या फिर डायरेक्टली चीटिंग करना शुरू कर दोगे. और तो कुछ है नहीं चांस. अगल बगल में लोगों से पूछोगे, भाई मेरे को बता दे तुमने क्या इसका आंसर मारा है. तो सबसे पहले चीटिंग करोगे या गैस वर्क लगाओगे या जिसका आंसर श्योर है वो करोगे? बताओ पहली अप्रोच क्या होगी आपकी?
जिसका आंसर श्योर है और जो ज्यादा मार्क्स मिलेंगे.
Absolutely, because this will increase your chances to reach at the cutoff stage. तो जिसकी वैल्यू सबसे ज्यादा होगी वो करोगे और वो सबसे कम टाइम लेगा, राइट? Then you
Right.
will give the priority to those where you have to, you can say, think about which option is the right one, because you are confused out of two. आप दिमाग में जोर डालोगे कि ये ऑप्शन ठीक हो सकता है या ये हो सकता है। जैसे होता है ना वो लाइफ लाइन होती 50-50 के, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति में, कि 4 में से 2 तो गलत हट जाए, बाकी 2 बचेंगी, उसमें से मुझे एक सेलेक्ट करना है। दैट इज बेसिकली यू आर डूइंग guess work with your presence of mind. Third priority you will give to those questions where there is no guesswork involved. मतलब आपको कुछ भी याद नहीं है, you have to select either सारे A और B और C और D, मतलब कुछ तो तुक्का लगेगा, 25% चांस मुझे मिलेगा, ना सेलेक्ट करने से बेटर है कुछ तो लगा दो, if there is no negative marking. And fourth, थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर से देख लिया चीटिंग में, बट चीटिंग आप सबसे लास्ट में करते हो क्योंकि उस समय सारे के सारे कर रहे होते हैं. There is a low risk involved. If you do cheating at the beginning, then you will be easily caught up. So cheating में मेहनत लगती है, टाइम लगता है, रिस्क इन्वॉल्व है. You will always do at the last. That's how you will get the value. ऐसा नहीं है कि उसमें वैल्यू नहीं मिलेगा, वैल्यू मिलेगा, बट टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है. देखने के लिए मुड़ना तो पड़ेगा, उससे पूछना तो पड़ेगा, और वो बताएगा नहीं बताएगा वो भी एक गारंटी नहीं है, और वो बताएगा क्या गलत बता रहा सही बता रहा वो भी कोई गारंटी नहीं है. तो you will park these kind of time at a later stage. So this is how you will start with the right answer, then you can say 50-50, then guesswork, and then cheating at the last stage. Same logic you can apply here as a product manager in identifying the right priority. So जो सबसे वैल्यू पहले देगा उसको सबसे पहले बनाओ, जो कम वैल्यू देगा सबसे कम ज्यादा टाइम लेगा, you have to build at a later stage. Clear? Second method is weighted shortest job first.
Just a sec, Priyank. I have a question, if you don't mind. Yeah, Priyank, just a quick question on the t-shirt sizing and the days that you have counted. You are saying that extra small would be 1 or 2 days estimation. So is this the fixed, or you can say that we can make the things according to us, or make the things the amount of work we have, or it should be the fixed?
See, whenever you are building a feature ना, you take the input from all the stakeholders. जैसे आपके designers हैं, engineers हैं, developers हैं, testers हैं. You take the opinion from them and ask them that if you have to build the feature, how much time you require and how you will build that, and what do you feel that it will create more impact on the customer. You take the input at the higher level, and then you assign the priority.
Yeah. No, I'm not asking for the priority. I'm asking for the t-shirt sizing, like this extra small, medium, and large XL. The timeline that you said that okay, extra small would be 1 to 2 days, small would be 1 week. So is this a fixed timeline that we have to consider?
Yeah, it is a fixed one. It is a fixed one.
Or it is a fixed one. We cannot change according to our product or according
you can do, but make sure whatever the scale you are choosing, the scale you should not change after every you can say month or every quarter. Let's take example. Suppose in the initial state you selected at extra small is equal to 3 days.
Okay.
Or suppose large will take suppose 2 months. Suppose you set up this scale, but later on after next month you change the scale. Now my extra small is 1 day and my large is supposed 2 weeks. Then the result will be contradictory now in your planning. So scale doesn't matter actually. Whatever the scale you decide, you have to fix up. But don't change the scale as the projects you can say progress over the period of time.
Okay, but this is the standard scale
basically this is the highly recommended scale. This is the recommendation.
Okay, this
but
is the
obviously the product managers are doing customization as per their requirement, as per their leadership approval. They are doing a lot of customization. There is no set of rule, but it is recommended that scale, whatever you select, don't change it.
Okay, makes sense to me.
Okay.
Priyank, I'll tell you one actually the real-time scenario. See what happens is like suppose I'm defining the features, okay?
Yeah.
But I need to check the technical feasibility also on that. Correct?
Absolutely.
So at that time, if I still don't have a team, like for example, I don't have the, I mean, I have an architect in place, but he's not available at that time. But still I have to do it. Then in that case, what should I do? I cannot go on like guessing like this will be taking 3 days and this will be taking 1 week or something like that, right? So the technical architect should definitely have an
absolutely
go say on this.
Absolutely.
So, but what happened is like so when I gave him like See, I will tell you one example. See, there is a feature like where if we built a feature saying that okay, there's a if the person is like geographic location, based on geographic location, if a person is logging in from China, then he should be seeing that the entire homepage he should be seeing in traditional Chinese. Sorry, normal Chinese. Okay. But if he's logging from Taiwan, then he should be looking, the entire page should be loaded in traditional Chinese. Okay, so that was a requirement. So I know like based on the geographical location, or you have a feature like which we enable like based on the location of the customer, he'll be able to load, the page will be able to load it. When I said like the same thing to the developer, they said no, it's not possible. Okay, but I simply know like it can be done, and if it's just a matter of just enabling that feature where the page will be loaded based on the geographic location of the customer from where he's logging in. But but the developer like, they kept on pushing back saying that it cannot be done. So I gave that, since the architect was not available, he was on leave. So I gave like it was like a prior this one urgent estimation that we had to do. Like I gave it as a 1 week max. But the developer came on a call and he said like no, that's not possible. I never gave any timeline. But later on, like when the architect came back, like the developer suddenly changed, said like it can be done in only 2 days. I don't know like why the developers keep on doing that.
Sometimes you can say there are hidden, you can say challenges are involved, and sometimes clarity is not there, and sometimes surety is also not coming from the different stakeholder. That's why they say something in the beginning, but later on they completely change the statement also. So these kind of surprises are common. Unless if you have a clarity about the technical aspect, and if the solution architect state everything upfront in the beginning, and something is mutually agreed at the beginning, that is actually save a lot of time and you can say confusion. So whatever you are doing, always document it and take the buy-in from all the stakeholders well in advance, and whatever it is agreed accordingly, you will prepare the high level roadmap accordingly, so that this will not create any showstopper or surprise at a later stage. This is common. Whatever you are telling, this is common across everywhere. And that's why I told you in the beginning that products are getting delayed because of people issues rather than tech issues. This is a people issue example.
Yeah.
Okay. Second is you have a weighted shortest job first criteria. Weighted shortest job means you actually evaluate the prioritization based upon 4 different parameters. First is the business value. Business value actually comes from the expected revenue they are getting. Then urgency. Urgency means how much the critical it is to implement the features right now, or you can implement later on. Then risk reduction, or you can say opportunity, means how much additional risk is involved here, or how much additional delay it will create. And then you will add on, you can say one more factor, that is development time, means effort. How much time it is required to build a particular product. So basically for each feature, you list down those particular value, and you add the 3 at the top, like business value, urgency, risk reduction, and divide by the development time, because time always comes in the denominator. And you take the weighted score of each and every feature, and whatever it is having lesser value, you will give the first priority. Just like in case of feature 1, the score is coming out as 0.76. Feature 2, it is coming at a score as 0.84. Feature 3, it is coming at a score of 2.4. Accordingly, you will give first priority to this, then second, and then third. So this is how you actually work on the relative estimation size because of multiple factors. Forget about the values. These are dummy values to give an example so that how you can calculate this particular figure, and how once you arrive at a number, then accordingly you will select a particular priority. So basically it's a relative estimation coming from different type of factors here. There is one more factor which is you can say very common in the, especially in IT product, you can say domain, which we called as Moscow. Moscow is not the capital of Russia, because basically it's having a different abbreviation. M means must have, should means S means should have, could, C means could have, and W means won't have. Must have, should have, could have, and won't have. Must have means the features which are mandatory. If you don't include, then ultimately you will not be able to deliver any product to the customer. Let me give an example. In a smartphone, what are the mandatory features? You will say that screen size, you will say the battery backup, you will also say that higher resolution camera. These are not mandatory one. The mandatory feature for the smartphone is you will be able to make or receive voice call, you will be able to send or receive text message, and you will be able to connect with the internet like 4G or 5G, so that you can accessing the applications. These are mandatory features. Should have means it's acting as a benchmark. If other competitors are providing, you must also provide the same. Otherwise customer never show the interest. मतलब ये का बेंचमार्क हो गया, ये तो कंप्यूटर प्रोवाइड कर रहा है, आपको तो देना ही पड़ेगा. जस्ट लाइक हायर बैटरी बैकअप, higher camera resolution, 3 different type of back camera and 1 selfie camera, and most important the processor speed and the memory space, that should also be there. Then could have means optional. अगर include करोगे नहीं करोगे, इससे आपकी सेल पे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा प्रोडक्ट की. Just like suppose unutilized apps you are deliberately provide to the customer, but customer don't want to use it. You are providing it. Maybe customer can use, may not, maybe customer don't use, but it will not create any impact there. And won't have. Customer don't require, but you are deliberately providing it. मतलब customer को चाहिए नहीं, जबरदस्ती उसको दे रहे हो. That is the won't have. Now what are the features? Every smartphone will have one feature, that is able to print through the mobile app or able to send the fax through your smartphone. But nowadays, nobody is using fax machine. But why you are providing? Because it is a mandate given from the TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. ये फैक्स का कनेक्टिविटी तो आपका स्मार्टफोन में होना चाहिए, चाहे कोई कस्टमर यूज करे ना करे, बट दैट विल बी कमिंग एट द लेटेस्ट प्रायोरिटी, एट द लास्ट प्रायोरिटी. So must have, should have, could have, and what have. So list down all the feature and apply the right label, and accordingly you can build. So must have, you have to build in the first few weeks. Should have, next few weeks. Then could have, you can build suppose after 1 month or 2 months, and won't have, you can build at the last stage, because ultimately customer is not going to use, but still you have to build because of formality. Clear? Any questions so far?
All good.
Yes, one second. Can you explain these calculations once again? Just lost that.
These are dummy value. These are
Yeah,
dummy
but-
value for just for the example purpose.
But these numbers 1, 13, and 2, what does that define? The cost?
This one, na 139 means 13
113
na.
and 2 divided by 21. How does
21
this
is the
formula
time.
works?
This is the time, 21 days or 13 days or
Okay.
5 days. These are days.
All,
actually.
okay. All are
And this is the
all these are
revenue.
days.
This is the revenue in million, 1 million, 5
Okay.
million, 8 million, approximate, you can say revenue or approximate customer they are going to impact. Like one customer will definitely use at a time, 5 customer will use at a time, 8 customer use at a time, depending
Mhm.
upon what priority you are using here. So it is a business value in terms of the revenue or in terms of the customer impact.
Okay.
And urgency means how many customer can use at the same time. And risk
Okay.
reduction means uncertainty, like it can be delayed by 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 2 months or 3 months. This is the risk reduction coming into the
Mhm.
picture. So these are dummy values only.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is revenue. The second one is the
Criticality. Criticality means how much customers can use at the same time, or they definitely want to explore first together. That is your urgency.
okay. And the third one is the
Risk
risks.
reduction. Risk reduction means you can say that you have a possibility that this will create as showstopper or unexpected challenges will come up.
Okay. And in this, the 2 and 3, what does that define? The number of days or the revenue risk that
This
would be
one,
there?
this one, 1, 2,
Yes,
3.
sir. The third column. The
Huh?
numbers 2, 3, 3. What does that define?
It
The
will define
revenue loss
that
that
it will
would be
create
there?
a delay of 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 2 months or
Okay.
3 months
Okay, in time. Okay.
in time only. And the
Okay.
overall development time will come under at that denominator.
Okay.
Because
All right,
this
sir. Thank you.
development time actually consume all the 3 things. Like it will generate the business value. It will
Mhm.
also define your urgency. It will also define your uncertainty. The total time, the development time will come in the denominator.
Sure. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Now, when you are building a particular product, right now you are building with the help of Agile. This is the latest way when you build a particular product. How many of you are aware about Agile? Can anyone raise hand? How many of you are aware about Agile? Just want to check. Aditya has raised the hand. Okay. I can see Mohan also raised the hand. Rahul also. Okay. Great. Okay. So, do you know the meaning of Agile? By the way, Mohan? Agile का मतलब क्या होता है?
Just according to the you
Sorry?
should be like you should be you should be able to adjust yourself as per the need of the customer.
Flexibility.
Flexibility, okay. The real meaning of agile is, which Mohan has rightly mentioned, is be ready to change whenever there is a need. Be ready to change whenever there is a need. समय के अनुसार आपको अपने आप को चेंज करना पड़ेगा. If you don't change, someone will grab the opportunity. And if you lose the opportunity, you never get the same opportunity back ever again in your life. एक बार अपॉर्चुनिटी आई, आपको ग्रैब करनी है. अगर आपने मिस कर दी, you will always repent because someone will grab the opportunity. Do you know that during COVID, which company gained maximum profit? कौन सी
Paytm.
कंपनी सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉफिट कमाया है?
Paytm.
पेटीएम हो गए.
And
Any other guesses?
Zoom.
medical,
Nvidia.
pharma industries.
फार्मा,
Zoom.
ओके. और कौन सी
Medical
कंपनी?
industry,
Zoom.
broadband connections,
कौन?
Internet connectivity.
इंटरनेट कंपनी,
broadband.
ब्रॉडबैंड सर्विस प्रोवाइडर, मोबाइल सर्विस प्रोवाइडर, ओके. और
Zoom.
Zoom, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. तो इन चारों में सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉफिट किसने कमाया? जो भी आपने एग्जांपल दी है, फार्मा कंपनी, Zoom, ब्रॉडबैंड सर्विस प्रोवाइडर, किसने कमाया?
So broadband.
ओके.
IT companies.
ओके. बेसिकली सबसे ज्यादा पैसा कमाया Zoom ने. Zoom ने क्यों
But Zoom
कमाया?
was banned. Zoom was banned in India at that time, right?
No,
During
no,
COVID.
it was working during COVID. Initial stages it was working. कंपनी ने बैन कर रखा होगा वो बात अलग है, बट इंडिया में चल रहा था. Zoom ने
नहीं,
सबसे
इंडिया ने
ज्यादा.
बैन किया था एक्चुअली.
हाँ?
इंडिया में भी बैन हुआ था.
ना शुरू से चल रहा, मार्च से चल रहा है वो.
March
Zoom
is-
actually gained too much profit. Why? Because the free version of Zoom will have only 40 minutes limitation and only maximum 100 users can join at the same time. But all the corporate meetings suddenly started happening on Zoom. All the school are conducting classes via Zoom. And in fact, all the entire L&D industry start switching to Zoom. जो भी L&D कंपनी है जो ट्रेनिंग और वो डिलीवर कराती है, एजेंसीज हैं, कॉलेजेस हैं, यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, स्कूल्स हैं, एवरीवन स्टार्टेड यूजिंग Zoom, क्योंकि उनको तो कम से कम 1 से 2 घंटे की क्लास तो कनेक्ट करनी है. राइट नाउ यू आर अटेंडिंग द क्लास वाया Zoom प्रीमियम अकाउंट ओनली. दैट्स व्हाई द क्लास इज बियॉन्ड 40 मिनट्स हियर. ओके. Zoom ने सबसे ज्यादा पैसा कमाया. सेकंड पे बायजूस, जो पूरा का पूरा ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन का प्लेटफॉर्म आपके सामने उसने दिया. थर्ड आपके आए थे फार्मा कंपनी, दोज हु आर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग द वैक्सीन्स और मेडिसिन्स बिकॉज दैट वाज द नीड ऑफ एन आवर. एंड फोर्थ वन इज अ ब्रॉडबैंड सर्विस प्रोवाइडर. व्हाई? बिकॉज initially all the you can say employees were living in tier 1 cities and they suddenly switched to their tier 2, tier 3 cities. Or initially in the month of May 2020, nobody was expecting that a high speed internet is available in their tier 3 cities also. वहां पे तो फाइबर की लाइन ही नहीं थी, हाई स्पीड इंटरनेट कहां से आएगा? But slowly when they feel that this COVID will at least stretch minimum 1 to 2 years, they quickly upscale their infrastructure and now you are getting a high speed internet in their locality. और तभी वो वापस आने नहीं चाहते, वर्क फ्रॉम होम हमेशा लेना चाहते हैं. Because you have a high speed internet there, why you want to come into tier 1? So that's how they get more profit. क्योंकि इसने एक बार कनेक्शन निकाल लिया, वो तो कभी कैंसिल करेगा नहीं. Because if you go back, then your parents will continue the connection as it is. So those who are living in those particular tier 2, tier 3 cities. So that's how you gain opportunity, especially in uncertainty. Bad days आ गए हर एक के, but उस bad days में आपने कैसे अपने आप को change किया? And those who have changed, they become successful. जिन्होंने change नहीं किया, they face a huge amount of losses. जैसे कौन सी है? Travel industry, tour industry, or even the food tech companies like Swiggy, Zomato, because everyone was having a fear. Why to, you can say, purchase something via online restaurant? If I get infection, then who will be accountable for that? So उनका loss हो गया उस period के अंदर. But इन कंपनियों ने सबसे ज्यादा पैसा कमाया. So you have to become agile, especially depending upon the situation. And if there is an uncertainty, you have to quickly change yourself. Otherwise, you will left behind the race. Right now, you are enrolling in this particular product management program. Why? आपने क्यों enroll किया? Because if you don't get the opportunity right now, maybe someone else will take up. That's why you are investing time. यू आर स्पॉइलिंग योर वीकेंड हेयर। आप कुछ और भी काम कर सकते थे, अभी आप क्लास में बैठे हो, संडे का दिन है, आप शॉपिंग मॉल जा सकते थे, आप फैमिली को भी टाइम दे सकते थे, बट यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग टाइम हियर। व्हाई? बिकॉज यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग टाइम. Investing time to develop the skill, to get the exposure, to learn something new, so that you will be able to crack the interview at a later stage, and you can change your career from XYZ domain to product management domain. So something you want to do for the future, you are investing time here. That's how you are becoming agile. And if you don't change, someone will grab the opportunity. So I can say like this, everyone has to become agile. Like, first of all, employee has to become agile. If employee don't change, then they become outdated in terms of their skills and competency, and they will lose the job, or company will kick out from their role. Similarly, company has to become agile, otherwise they will lose the client. जैसे अभी right now everyone is focusing on AI. अगर कोई कंपनी AI के ऊपर फोकस नहीं करेगी, the client will start losing interest in those company. वो कहेगी ये तो AI से रिलेटेड फीचर बनाते नहीं, मैं इस कंपनी के साथ क्यों काम करूं? They will start losing the client. Similarly, client has to become agile. If the client don't become agile, they will start losing the customer, क्योंकि उनके दूसरे कंपटीटर वो फीचर्स प्रोवाइड करना शुरू कर देंगे. Similarly, customer also has to become agile. If customer don't become agile, then they will continue to use the old product as it is, and they leave, and they will face problem at a later stage. So everyone has to become agile. Employee, company, client, as well as the customer. That is the need of an hour. And that's how agile plays a major role here. I hope this is clear. Yeah, Amit, you have raised the hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, Priyank, I'm so sorry. I have a question on the last slide that was related to the Fibonacci series actually. And
Yeah.
I was doing an interview and someone asked me like why we estimate in the Fibonacci series.
See, for Fibonacci series, basically it's an old method right now. Previously, we were using planning poker technique. In planning poker, actually use the Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series you must have learned in the 10th standard mathematics that it's a unique series. When you add two numbers, you will get the third number. Just like 1 plus 1, you will get 2. 1 plus 2, you will get 3. 3 plus 5, you will get 8. 5 plus 8, you will get 13, and so on. So basically, these number you plot onto the card. जो ताश के पत्ते होते हैं ना, जिसमें नंबर होते हैं 1 से लेके 13
Planning
तक.
poker, I know.
Yeah, you print the number on those particular card, and you plan your work with the help of these particular card. That's why it was called as planning poker technique. Planning poker means you plan the work based upon the poker, having these numbers. So suppose you have a team of 8 members. Suppose 2 developers, 1 tester, 1 quality analyst, 1 solution architect, 1 subject matter expert, like that. So when you give the communicate the user story, then these people will communicate in terms of how many days or how many hours they required, and they will pick the number printed on the card. So suppose I am the product owner, and if I am communicating user story, then I will ask them to do self-estimation, and I will give them card. And based upon their, you can say, logic, they will give the estimation by putting up the card. Initially, they will do the, you can say, estimation on self basis. They don't discuss with each other. They just select the card based upon their presence of mind. And once they reveal the number to each other, then they will explain why they selected 2, why they selected 5, why they selected 8, so that other will listen it. So first round में क्या किया? आपने अपने लॉजिक से आपने कार्ड उठाया और आपने बता दिया. दूसरे राउंड में जब आपने सबका सुन लिया, then you have a more clarity from their perspective. Then you have to do the again second round of estimation, and then the second time when you pick up the card, you have a more clarity, and you will get the similarity in the numbers which others are picking up. So आप फिर last में you will take the average and give the final estimation to the product owner. That's how you are doing the planning poker technique. If there is
So
a
I got
YouTube,
it. That I
Yeah.
got it. My question is why we use Fibonacci basically.
because it's a unique series, Amit, which gives a variety to select a number between 1 to 100. 1 to 100 hours. That
Okay.
is gives a you can say variety. And once you take the average here, you don't select the number. You definitely get the number which is not available here. Let me give example. Suppose if 5 members selected the number 2, 3, 5, 8, 30. If you take the average here,
Hmm.
then you will definitely get the number which is not lying in this particular
Whatever.
Fibonacci. So you will select the higher number. Suppose you are getting average as 6.5, but you will not select 5, you will select 8.
Okay.
Why? Because this Fibonacci series ultimately give a buffer value also. Buffer value means unplanned emergency, unplanned leave if the team members are doing, and also some kind of hidden surprises will come up. That buffer is already included in this particular Fibonacci series. So
Okay.
ये series ऐसी है जिसमें 20 to 30% एक्सट्रीम बफर भी ऑटोमेटिकली इंक्लूड हो जाता है इस सीरीज के थ्रू। आपको अलग से प्लानिंग करने की जरूरत नहीं है। आपका जो एवरेज आया उससे बड़ा फिबोनाची नंबर ले लो, वो आपका अनप्लान्ड इमरजेंसी भी कवर कर देगा।
Okay. Got
So
it.
that's how the risk is minimized if you use this Fibonacci series.
So,
Clear?
Priyank, even I had the same question actually.
Yeah.
I mean, in one of the interviews. So, and I was not able to answer that, but the person who took the interview, he gave me an answer saying that, see, it's a Fibonacci sequence is like one of the non-linear. It's not a linear model.
Yeah.
So the numbers are accommodating in such a way that when one person sees um, criticality in that, like it automatically accommodates to that person's need. So if one person is saying 2 and the other person says seeing more criticality than that, then based on that he can say like 3. But if it is more criticality, more criticality than like more, what the first person is saying, then he can say like 5. So the numbers automatically adjust to the criticality that the
Absolutely.
one person sees from the other person.
Absolutely. That is also another opinion. So basically,
Yeah.
you are actually considering each and everything. Basically, the hidden, you can say, factor or
Yeah.
unplanned emergency, surprises, or even criticality. Each and every factor is automatically covered here. That's why you are using this Fibonacci series.
Yeah.
Great.
One more question, Priyank.
Yeah.
For here in the point number 2, you have written in the higher WSJF is equal to higher priority.
Higher.
Higher WSJF
Highest.
is
हाँ,
Weighted
yeah,
short.
higher
हाईएस्ट ये
priority.
वाला ना जो सबसे छोटा
हाँ।
नंबर होगा उसको सबसे पहले प्रायोरिटी मिलेगी ना।
जो छोटा नंबर होगा वो प्रायोरिटी पे होगा या जो बड़ा नंबर होगा
छोटा
वो?
नंबर होगा, हाईएस्ट वेटेज शॉर्टेज ऑफ फर्स्ट। हाईएस्ट मींस जो नंबर सबसे छोटा है। ये रिवर्स में चलता है स्केल इसका।
ओके।
ये रिवर्स होता है। हाईएस्ट वेटेज शॉर्टेज, जो वेटेज एवरेज ले रहे हो ना, तो जिसका सबसे कम टाइम लगेगा उसको सबसे पहले प्रायोरिटी दोगे ना। तो दिस इज द स्लोवेस्ट, द स्मॉल नंबर विल गिव हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी।
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now, as I was discussing about the agile, so basically this agile is basically based upon incremental delivery. Incremental delivery means, suppose if you are building a particular product and you have a timeline of 2 months. Okay, you have a timeline of 2 months. Initially, before 2005, 2005 से पहले, there were very few computers were there in the market. But as the time passes, more and more computers and now startups are obviously jumping in the market, and they are grabbing the customers from each other. Now, if you are building a particular product in maximum time, then customer don't have patience to wait for your product delivery. They will immediately go with your computer and you will lose the customer. And if you lose the customer, it's very difficult to retain those customers back ever again in your portfolio. So how to retain the existing customers, that is a major challenge for majority of the brands right now. So what they are suggesting, you have to build a product in such a way so that customer can be retained and they start using the product. So you are basically reducing the delivery timeline. So initially you are taking 2 months time to build a product. Let's take example, suppose it has 100 features. 2 महीने में प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हो और आप 100 फीचर्स दे रहे हो. But now there is one option, either you build the entire product with 100 features and you deliver after 2 months. पूरा प्रोडक्ट एक साथ बनाओ 100 फीचर्स का और डिलीवर करो 2 महीने के बाद. But this will increase the risk, you will lose the customer. Alternate way is you build the product in pieces. Means, let's take example, every 15 days you are producing the product and you are giving incremental features. Means 2 हफ्ते में आपने 25 फीचर्स दे दिया, फिर अगले 2 हफ्ते में फिर 25 फीचर्स दे दिया, फिर अगले 2 हफ्ते में फिर 25 फीचर्स दे दिया, और लास्ट के 2 हफ्ते बाद the remaining 25% of the features. So this way customer will reduce their waiting time and they are getting something, and from that particular delivery date they are actually consuming also. This will increase their chances to wait till the 2 months time because they are consistently consuming and giving value to the client. This is basically called as agile method. So basically you are providing incremental delivery, but in iterative approach. So that's how agile actually come into the picture, and all the teams are working in parallel. And basically you have a user story in parallel. In the particular 1 week or 2 week time, you immediately plan, pick up certain stories, you build that, you test that, and you deliver it, and customers start using it. And once it is delivered, then again picked up simultaneously for the previous user story, then build, then test, deploy, and then launch it. So this is how you actually providing incremental features, but in iterative approach. This is how agile focusing on the same. And agile has created one manifesto. Recently, you have heard the manifesto as part of the daily elections. Manifesto को हिंदी में बोलते हैं चुनावी घोषणा पत्र. Basically, it is used in elections only. Just like what offer you are providing to attract the voters. क्या free दे रहे हो? बिजली, पानी, suppose salary और भत्ता, जो भी आप free दे रहे हो वो सब आप उसमें promise करते हो. Once the political parties win the elections, then you have to fulfill those promises. Otherwise, next time nobody casts the vote.
फ्री
But
देने
agile
वाले फ्री हो गए सर.
हाँ,
फ्री देने वाले कल फ्री हो गए.
फ्री हो गए पूरे, क्योंकि उससे ज्यादा चीजें फ्री बटी है. उनसे बड़ी बड़ी झाड़ू बड़ी है जिसने पूरा कचरा साफ कर दिया. पहले छोटी झाड़ू थी, बड़ी झाड़ू आ गई. ओके, सो नाउ
It's a kind of a roadmap also, right?
या
Manifesto can be.
Yeah. So basically, this manifesto is basically used in election. But now Agile is not contesting any election. Agile कोई election conduct नहीं कर रहा है. But they have created the manifesto to give a guarantee to the end users and client by saying that if you implement our approach, then we will definitely fulfill your objective. मतलब अगर आप हमारे हिसाब से काम करोगे, हमारा तरीका अपनाओगे, definitely you will achieve the target. कैसे? Just like you have to focus on working software rather than documentation. ज्यादा फोकस लगाओ वर्क सॉफ्टवेयर बनाने में rather than documentation करने में. जैसे कुछ लोगों की आदत होती है, कुछ भी बनाया डॉक्यूमेंट कर लिया, एक्सेल शीट में बना लिया, पावर पॉइंट में बना लिया, वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट बना लिया, मेल पे शेयर कर दिया. ज्यादा से ज्यादा टाइम डॉक्यूमेंट पे करते हो. बट क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है कस्टमर के लिए? वर्किंग सॉफ्टवेयर ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. डॉक्यूमेंट बनाओ, एक डॉक्यूमेंट बनाओ. डोंट क्रिएट मल्टीपल टेम्पलेट. Just one documentation is sufficient rather than creating multiple format. Second thing, you have to focus on customer satisfaction. Customer should be happy rather than negotiating with their terms and conditions. नेगोशिएशन करो, थोड़ा करो, बट कस्टमर को सेटिस्फाई करने की तरफ ज्यादा ध्यान दो, बिकॉज कस्टमर इज द किंग ऑफ द मार्केट. Whenever customer give any requirement, you have to immediately respond to the change rather than following a plan. मतलब आप बताओगे ये प्लान होगा, कस्टमर को पहले यहाँ रिक्वेस्ट करना है, फिर कस्टमर को अप्रूवल देना है, फिर फॉर्म आएगा, फिर मैं उस पर काम करूंगा, मैं भी अप्रूवल लूंगा, फिर उसके बाद लॉन्च होगा, आपको बता दिया जाएगा, फिर आ जाओ मेरे पास. It is consuming a lot of time. So whenever customer share any feedback, you have to immediately respond to the change and focus more on individual interactions rather than process and tool. आप जितना ज्यादा बात करोगे उतना ज्यादा क्लैरिटी आपको मिलेगा, बिकॉज यू वर्क एट द सेम टाइम विद द सेम टेबल विद ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स. यू विल बी एबल टू डिसाइड इमीडिएटली. अगर आप सब लोग साइलो में काम करोगे, you will not be able to take the decision. If you take the decision quickly, ultimately you will put the plan on action on the ground. So that's how you give more focus on the left side as compared to the right hand. That's how this Agile Manifesto is all about. And with this particular Agile Manifesto, 12 principles they have made. You don't have to remember these 12 principles, but this is actually give you a, you can say, implication that what needs to be prioritized more. Just like first principle says that you have to focus on customer satisfaction. कैसे? You have to provide earliest delivery. अगर जितना जल्दी कस्टमर को दोगे उतना ज्यादा वो खुश रहेगा. Whenever requirements are keep on changing, you have to give them weightage. Don't, you can say, put yourself into the comfort zone. You have to change the requirements, even if the coming at the later stage. You have to deliver software frequently, from couple of days to couple of weeks or couple of months. कुछ ना कुछ आपको deliver जल्द से जल्द करना पड़ेगा, depending upon your priority, so that you will deliver to the customer. Business people and developer must together. ऐसा नहीं कि developer सिर्फ developer के साथ काम करेंगे. Developer should also work with business people also, so that you convey what is the need of that feature, what value you are getting, so that they will get the maximum return to the customer. Build the product by motivating the team member. If you don't motivate anything, that kind of environment will never be built up. And whatever you build, make sure you should communicate face to face. जितना सामने बात करोगे उतना कम confusion होगा, उतनी कम दिक्कतें आएंगी. And your progress would be maintained if you deliver working software, जो आपको मैंने पहले principle में यहाँ पे बताया. Then you have to provide sustainable development. Week on week, if you provide something, the customer will see that you are continuously delivering something. Your major focus should be on technical excellence. Technical excellence means whatever technology you are using, you should explore in the best possible way so that it will give you better design and agility. Everything should be simple so that customer can use without any issue. And the best requirement design and architecture come only from the self-organizing team. Self-organizing means it's a team where you just communicate the objective, let them decide how they are going to work. Means what developer will do, what tester will do, what quality analyst will do, what subject matter expert will do. They will mutually decide among themselves and achieve the goal rather than involved in micromanagement. And finally, on frequently basis, you will take the feedback so that you will do self retrospection. मैं क्लासिक एग्जांपल देता हूं, ये लास्ट एग्जांपल, लास्ट लाइन का. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर इन ए हैबिट टू सी योर फेस बिफोर मूविंग आउट ऑफ योर होम? घर से बाहर निकलने से पहले कितना लोग अपना चेहरा देखते हो? ऑनेस्टली बताना. या गाड़ी से बाहर निकलते हो तो चेहरा देखते हो? ओके, मोहन, आदित्य, विजय, they have mentioned the rings. Okay, why you are doing this? क्या हो जाएगा? चेहरा नहीं देखोगे क्या दुनिया रुक जाएगी या काम अटक जाएगा? क्या होगा?
Present better self of ours.
उससे क्या हो जाएगा?
More self
मैंने एक इमेज बनेगी कि okay, this person is a genuine or like is a
self
trustable person.
Sir, you are
Impression
aware
that-
of yourself.
It's all about self confidence. You will
Yeah.
perform better. एक psychological impact है मोहन, that if you see your face and change your looks, your self confidence will be increased up to 10 times and you will be able to perform better. जो मन में एक डर होता है ना कि मेरे को कोई रिजेक्ट कर देगा या मैं कोई मेरे ऊपर कोई टोंट मारेगा, वो ऑटोमेटिकली आपके दिमाग से निकल गया और आपका फोकस आपके गोल की तरफ हो जाएगा. इट्स अ साइकोलॉजिकल इम्पैक्ट. इट इमीडिएटली बूस्ट योर कॉन्फिडेंस एज वेल एज योर प्रोडक्टिविटी आउटकम. ओके, एंड मिरर, आप मिरर पे ही क्यों भरोसा करते हो? बिकॉज मिरर इज योर सेल्फ रेट्रोस्पेक्शन. आप किसी और पे भरोसा नहीं करोगे. आप किसी और से तभी पूछोगे जब आपके सामने मिरर नहीं होगा, क्योंकि आपके पास कोई चॉइस नहीं है. एंड मिरर विल गिव यू इमीडिएट फीडबैक. इट इज एक्चुअली गिविंग यू सेल्फ रेट्रोस्पेक्शन दैट हाउ यू आर लुकिंग राइट नाउ. अगर मिरर नहीं होता तो दूसरा ऑप्शन क्या है आपके पास? स्मार्टफोन का सेल्फी कैमरा. वो भी नहीं है, फिर आप किसी और से पूछ लोगे, बट फीडबैक जरूर लोगे. Same thing you have to do in the project also. When you are building a product, always take the self retrospection from different team member or customer so that you can adjust your behavior accordingly. If you are running fast, you can run slow. If you are running slow, you can execute in a faster way. And Agile के अंदर एक framework आता है जिसको हम कहते हैं Scrum framework, which is actually used in the incremental product delivery. What you will do actually, all the features, all the requirements are first of all consolidated in a product backlog. Product backlog is just like a master Excel sheet or a spreadsheet where you will list down all the high level user stories as well as features. And you will prioritize in terms of different criteria, whether Moscow technique or Fibonacci series based planning poker technique or weighted shortest job criteria or value versus or complexity quadrant. So जो भी method आप use कर रहे हो उसके according आप features और user stories को prioritize कर रहे हो. So all the features, whatever you are building, you consolidate in this particular backlog and prioritize it. So outcome is prioritize product backlog. Then what will happen in the case of Scrum? You don't work entirely on that product backlog. You actually create a small backlog, which is basically called a sprint backlog. And you picked up high priority features, जो top पे आपका आया priority में, उसको आप list down करोगे sprint backlog में. Basically, entire product you are building in multiple sprint. Sprint क्या होता है? It's a time box duration. Minimum duration is 1 week, maximum is 4 weeks. मतलब एक हफ्ता minimum sprint और maximum होगा 4 weeks का. So what you will do? You divide this product backlog into multiple sprint, and suppose you started in a particular sprint, you will pick up high priority features and create a sprint backlog, and you discuss this sprint backlog in a sprint planning meeting. जो सबसे पहली मीटिंग होती है स्प्रिंट स्टार्ट होते ही, you discuss among each other and means what you have to do why you have to do, and who will do. So what, why, and where you will discuss in this particular sprint planning meeting. And the agenda is you have to discuss the how part, क्योंकि आपने what part यहाँ पे disclose कर दिया, क्या करना है, कितना जल्दी करना है, but how you build up, that will be decided in this particular sprint planning meeting through this particular sprint backlog. Then on daily basis, the product owner, scrum master, and developer, these are the three main members in this particular scrum. They work together each other, and every day they will conduct one meeting which is of 15 minutes duration, which is called a daily scrum. Means it's a daily status update, what they did yesterday, what they are going today, and what are the challenges they guys are facing, so that they can discuss it and resolve on the same table itself. So every day they will conduct the daily scrum. When the last day come up, when they build the requirement, then they will call all the stakeholders, including product manager. Product manager आता है review के लिए, along with product owner and other stakeholders, to have a review on the incremental delivery. And आप उनके review के बाद, then at the end of the sprint, they will conduct retrospective, where product manager is not involved here, just product owner, scrum master, and developer is there, who actually conduct the self retrospection. What went well, what went wrong, how they can work differently next time, so that same mistakes will not be repeat ever again. So this is how at the end of the sprint you deliver the increment. And once the first sprint is over, then you will start building on second sprint. Then the same exercise will be conducted ever and ever again. Once entire product backlog is empty, the sprint is closed. This is how you achieve incremental delivery with the help of the Scrum framework. Now, definitely you have one question here. Yes, Scrum Master कौन है? Basically, what happens nowadays, since long time, the product-based companies are outsourcing the development through service-based company. Product companies जो होती हैं, वो generally development खुद नहीं करती, outsource कर देती है. And when you outsource, then Scrum Master and developers from the other company, and from your company, product owner will represent your brand and have a conversation with them. So basically, Scrum Master is a person who actually don't have any reportees, but their task is to facilitate the execution process, keeping in mind what product owner will communicate, and they have to ensure that it would be it will be implemented via Scrum framework. And if any of the team member face any problem, then they will play the role of a facilitator, so that things should not create any showstopper and you will be able to deliver something. तो उसको कोई report नहीं कर रहा. They are working as a facilitator so that they will understand the requirement. If required, they can mentor the team, coach the team, guide the team, and convey the requirement, so that this person has to ensure that everything should be delivered without any hustle on time.
Sir, if the development is in-house, then the Scrum Master and the product
It's not
owner
required. It's not
roles are
required. It's
same.
optional. It's optional. Well, if you are developing on your own, then you directly interact with the developers or business
No, no,
analysts.
no. If the building development is in-house, then the Scrum Master and the product owner's roles are same. Like,
There is no need of Scrum Master. That's what I'm saying. You can absolutely
Okay.
switch.
then only the product owner takes all
Product
those.
owner is directly interacting with the other developers.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Any other questions on this? There are so many Scrum certifications are also there in the market, but don't invest, you can say, money on that, because nowadays nobody actually value those certifications. There was a time when people are crazy for the product owner role. For that, you can do either PSM1 or PSPO1 or even CSM1 or CSPO or advanced CSPO that were actually applicable in the market, but don't waste money on that. You can do free certifications also, just like LinkedIn e-learning is providing or Udemy is providing, that is more cost effective on that. Just you have a basic understanding, but there is no, you can say, need for any formal kind of, you can say, certification process here. Okay, so don't waste money on that.
Sir, एक particular feature के लिए एक से ज़्यादा product owners हो सकते हैं?
हो सकते हैं, but provided they have a large, you can say, team they are handling, or they are at different location.
और ये सारे product owners एक product manager जो own
हाँ,
करता है feature को उसको
एक ही
report करते हैं.
प्रोडक्ट ओनर एक ही रहेगा, प्रोडक्ट ओनर मल्टीपल नहीं रहेगा. प्रोडक्ट ओनर मल्टीपल तभी होगा जब आपकी टीम अलग अलग लोकेशन पे बैठी.
Okay.
जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल, one team is sitting in Delhi, second team is sitting in Chennai, third is sitting in Bangalore, or fourth suppose in US, and they have a dedicated team available there, then in that case one product owner will not be able to coordinate too much, because their feasibility availability is a challenge. You can have multiple product owner at that location, but all the product owner must be reporting to same product manager. If there is no location constraint, everyone is sitting at, then you will always go for one product owner only.
Okay, got it, got it. Thank you.
Okay. One more framework which is applicable in product development is design thinking. इसके बारे में कौन 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 जानता है? कभी किसी ने काम किया है डिजाइन थिंकिंग में? Anyone? No idea. Nobody has idea. Okay, what do you understand by the word design thinking? मतलब word समझ के आपको क्या समझ में आ रहा है?
Something which can solve a problem, which can change the way it works. For example, see, for example, like there can be a situation where the customer is actually checking out, but he's not able to add a product. I mean, he's not able to increase the number of products in the cart. So maybe like we give that feature saying that instead of the customer going back and, I mean, once he makes the payment, he has to come back again and he again has to do the shopping. पहले से शुरू करना है. Then we'll give him an option saying that instead of that, like you can just एक प्लस और माइनस बटन रख देंगे वहां पे जहाँ पे वो इंक्रीज करेगा और डिक्रीज करेगा.
Okay. Amit, go ahead.
To think as a customer, I am Rahul Priyank. To think as a customer, to be yourself, to be in the shoes of a customer and think a solution, maybe.
Okay. Anyone else?
दूसरा सिचुएशन ये भी हो सकता है कि सॉरी अवॉइड
Yeah, please go ahead.
दूसरा सिचुएशन ये भी हो सकता है कि there are two solutions and you're thinking that one want to test like which I mean two designs like two designs for the same screen, and we can check like which screen is more favorable.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Who
Yes,
was
I-
speaking in the middle?
Yeah, Priyank, I think like whatever like user sees the page, the easy way to log in, register, or whatever they want, in an easy way to understand the design, website or application.
Uh-huh.
User can easily can register, log in, apply, or order. So what the way like we need to arrange each and every step after that, like after login, after registration they need to log in and they need to either shop or learn things. So we need to arrange the design design pages in a way that so user can understand and easily accessible for them.
Easily accessible to them. Okay,
You
good.
mean feel good factor, something like that?
User-centered thinking.
Basically, it's a design-centric, you can say, way where you are able to build the product from their mindset. Okay, so let me give a very simple example. What is happening actually in case of Scrum? You actually build an incremental approach. आपने कुछ requirement उठाया, prioritization किया, and you build in subsequent pieces and then deliver it. Whereas in case of design thinking, you don't deliver the product unless they are not satisfied with the particular design. And this design coming only from the problem mindset. Whatever the problem the customer highlight, you have to first work on that and then deliver it with a simple prototype. And once you hand over the prototype to the customer, they will test it. And if they are not satisfied, then you don't launch the product in the market. Unless they are not satisfied, you keep on modifying the prototype again and again, and then deliver to the final customer. Basically, it's have 5 different stages are involved. First of all, you have to empathize the customer, understand their requirement in detail. List down all the requirement by conducting the interviews, conducting the surveys, or take the feedback from the focus group, and then define the problem statement in your own way. तो यहाँ पे आपने customer से बात करी, And once you have a clarity about the requirement, you define the problem statement in your own technical way, list down the user story, and then build the product by doing the ideation. यहाँ पे आपका brainstorming हो गया, and then you build the prototype. And once the first prototype is created, you actually hand over the customer to test it. If customer is happy, then you can launch. If customer is not happy, then again you will take the feedback by empathizing the customer. Then again come back to the first stage, interact with the customer, what is missing, what is not missing, and what is the problem you are facing right now. Then redefine the problem statement, do the re-ideation, and then you create another product prototype, and then offer to the customer for the testing. So this cycle is repeated again and again till the final testing is passed by the customer. And ultimately, you will focus more on the design because you are getting multiple prototype here. And that's how this approach is basically called as design thinking. In order to explain more, let me play one video so that you can understand in a better way. And before playing the video, I would like to give, you can say, high level overview of that video, which this video is all about. Let me give one, you can say, minute.
Yeah, what is the three-legged streak?
Sorry?
In the previous slide, you had something like three-legged
No, nothing. It is just a design thinking only. Wait a minute.
prototype. Yeah.
Yeah, prototype. Yeah. So I hope you are able to see the blank screen, the shopping cart IDEO.
Yeah.
Okay. Before playing the video, let me give high level overview here. This video is all about the company which is called as IDEO, IDEO. They have given a task to create a new shopping cart trolley. शॉपिंग कार्ट ट्रॉली आपको कहाँ दिखते हैं? बेसिकली सुपरमार्केट में दिखते हैं, ये शॉपिंग मॉल में दिखते हैं, बिग बाजार, हाइपर सिटी रिटेल, रत्नादीप, वहां पे आपको दिखेंगे. नॉर्मली जब आप शॉपिंग कार्ट ट्रॉली को देखते हो तो उसका एक ही साइज होता है, मतलब एक जाली टाइप की ट्रॉली होती है, बट इट हैज सो मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स. इट इज क्रिएटिंग ए चाइल्ड इंजरी, इट इज वेरी बल्की, एंड ऑल द आइटम्स आर पुट टुगेदर इन द कॉमन प्लेस. उसके कारण क्या होता है? पेरिशेबल आइटम्स ब्रोकन, जैसे आप अंडे डालोगे, एग ब्रोकन हो जाएंगे, प्लास्टिक का मटेरियल डालोगे, बाहर के कारण टूट जाएगा. तो ऑल द आइटम्स विल क्रिएट प्रॉब्लम एंड इट बिकम्स टू मच बल्की, एंड अल्टीमेटली कस्टमर हैज टू पुल दिस ट्रॉली टू द बिलिंग काउंटर, मेक द चेकआउट एंड देन कम बैक होम. But now when they interact with the customer, they come to know how so many problems and they come up with a different design. Now here, in your normal Scrum team, you have technical team member, but in the design thinking team, you have so many members. You have a biologist, you have psychiatrist, you have psychologist, you have botany person, you have technology person, you have MBA person, you have sales person, you have a cross-functional team who actually think about the problem statement from the different mindset. And now when they work together, they have come up with a different design of a shopping cart trolley, which nobody ever imagined. आपने ऐसा डिजाइन कभी जिंदगी में देखा ही नहीं होगा जो उन्होंने ट्रॉली का डिजाइन किया. This video is all about. So let me play that video. Just confirm if you are able to hear the sound also.
Tonight, the deep dive.
I hope your sound is coming now.
Yeah.
Have a look.
One company's secret weapon for innovation. We went to IDEO, the product design folk, and said, take something old and familiar, like, say, the shopping cart, and completely redesign it for us in just 5 days. ABC News correspondent Jack Smith tells us what happened next.
9 in the morning, day one, and these people have a deadline to meet.
So welcome to the kickoff of the shopping cart project.
This is Palo Alto, California, in the heart of Silicon Valley. And these are designers at IDEO, probably the most influential product development firm in the world. IDEO has designed everything from high-tech medical equipment to the 25-foot mechanical whale in the movie Free Willy, and the first computer mouse for Apple, Smith ski goggles, Nike sunglasses, NEC computer screens, hundreds of products we take for granted.
The point is that we're not actually experts at any given area. You know, we're kind of experts on the process of how you design stuff. So we don't care if you give us a toothbrush, a toothpaste tube, a tractor, a space shuttle, you know, a chair. It's all the same to us. We want to figure out how to innovate by using our process, applying it.
Project leader is Peter Skillman, a 35-year-old Stanford engineer. Project leader because he's good with groups, not because of seniority. He's only been at IDEO for 6 years. The rest of the team is eclectic, but that's typical here. Whitney Mortimer, Harvard MBA. Peter Coughlin, linguist. Tom Kelly, Dave's brother, marketing expert. Jane Fulton-Suri, psychologist. Alex Kazaks, 26, a biology major, who's turned down medical school 3 times because he's having too much fun at IDEO. Safety emerges early as an important issue.
22,000 child injuries a year, and so they're hospitalized injuries. I mean, there are many others.
And theft. It turns out a lot of carts are stolen. As the team works, it becomes clear there are no titles here, no permanent assignments.
The other side says, it gives us a lot of help, says, be safe. That's it. I'll give you a big red ball on a post, and that says you're a big guy. If you got a ball, you're a senior vice president. You know, what do I get? The desk, the red ball, it's all the same. In a very innovative culture, you can't have a kind of hierarchy of here's the boss and the next person down, the next person down, the next person down, because it's impossible that the boss is the one who's had the insightful experience with shopping carts. It's just not possible.
The team splits into groups to find out firsthand what the people who use, make, and repair shopping carts really think.
Okay, go.
The problem with the plastic cart is the wind catches it. Yeah. And these things have been clocked at 35 across the parking lot.
Man, that's actually a pretty good point. The trick is to find these real experts, and so that you can learn much more quickly than you could by just kind of doing it in the normal way and trying to learn about it yourself.
From everything I read, these things aren't that safe either, you know? So probably the seat itself is going to have to be redesigned.
One of the interesting things for me is looking at how people really don't like to let go of the cart, except for the professional shopper, whose strategy is to leave the cart at various places.
3:30 in the afternoon, and the group is back at IDEO. There is no let-up.
Each team is going to demonstrate and communicate and share everything that they've learned today.
A shopping cart has been clocked at 35 miles an hour traveling through a parking lot in the wind.
We were in the store, 2 hours, and it was truly frightening just to see the kind of stuff going on.
You ought to designate some people to make damn sure that the store owner's point of view is represented.
After 9 straight hours, the team is tired. They call it a day.
So,
everybody cool?
Well, that's great. Thanks a lot. We had a great time today.
IDEO's mantra for innovation is written everywhere. One conversation at a time. Stay focused. Encourage wild ideas. Defer judgment. Build on the ideas of others.
That's the hardest thing for people to do, is to restrain themselves from criticizing an idea. So if anybody starts to nail an idea, they get the bill.
The ideas pour out and are posted on the walls.
Oh, the blind, the privacy blind. Like when you're buying 6 cases of condoms, no one sees. If it doesn't nest, we don't have a solution.
Organized chaos. It's not organized. What it is it's focused chaos.
Vote with your Post-it, not with an idea that's cool, but with an idea that's cool and buildable. If it's too far out there and it can't be built in a day, then I don't think we should vote on it. Enlightened trial and error succeeds over the planning of lone genius.
Enlightened trial and error succeeds over the planning of the lone genius. If anything sums up IDEO's approach, that is it. Worried that the team is drifting, what can only be called a group of self-appointed adults under Dave Kelly holds an informal side session.
4 or 5 teams. 4 or 5 teams, and we give each team a need area. It becomes very autocratic for a very short period of time in defining what things people are going to work on.
If you don't work under time constraints, you could never get anything done because it's a messy process and go on forever.
Back at the shop, it is 6 o'clock. The 4 mock-ups are ready for showing.
Baskets also can be, if you think you will have more volume, baskets can be put in.
A modular shopping cart you pile hand baskets onto. A high-tech cart that gets you through the traffic jam at checkout.
That you could mount a scanner on the shopping cart so that you as the customer, as you pull it off the shelf, would scan each item.
One that's built around child safety, and another that lets shoppers talk to the supermarket staff remotely.
Yeah, where can I find the yogurt?
The adults, again, decide more work needs to be done before the mock-ups can be combined into one last prototype.
Why don't we have all the cards come up here for a second?
I think you take a piece of each one of these ideas and kind of back it off a little bit and then put it in the design.
The design is still not there, but there's another motto at IDEO: fail often in order to succeed sooner. And some of the team will be up half the night trying to put together a design that finally does work.
Good.
There it is! We took the best elements out of each prototype.
The cart, which is designed to cost about the same as today's carts, is different in every other way. What do you think?
Well, I'm very proud of the team. I think it's great.
Does this work for you?
Works for me great. It's also beautiful.
The cart's wheels turn 90 degrees so it can move sideways. No more lifting up the rear in a tight spot. And you shop in a totally different way. The bags are hung on hooks on the cart's frame. Remember, there is no basket here.
At first, I was a little shocked, but I think you have some fantastic ideas here. It needs a little refining, but I think that it's great. I mean, we would want them.
She also gave us some really good comments about how we can make this thing better.
A lot of hours. Also, an open mind, a boss who demands fresh ideas be quirky and clash with his, a belief that chaos can be constructive, and teamwork, a great deal of teamwork. And these are the recipe for how innovation takes place. This is Jack Smith for Nightline, Palo Alto, California.
I hope you understand this video. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
Priyank.
Priyank. Yeah.
So have you seen that this is a cross-functional team who actually work together and get the ideas, focusing on understanding the customer, have empathy toward them, and then come up with multiple prototype and selected the final one which has solved all the problem of the customer. Basically, you are focusing more on the design-centric approach that will solve the maximum problem of the customer. You might have seen that design evolved over the period of time. Cosmetic industry is one of the best example. आपने 50 साल पहले देखे होंगे प्रोडक्ट इस टाइप की bottles वगैरह आती थी. Nowadays you see the classic premium looks bottles are coming up, but although the product inside that bottle is same, but people get crazy about looks of the bottle because there is a different grip, different feel, premium look, and also having a psychological impact on the product that if the bottle looks great in terms of size and shape, definitely the material or the content inside that definitely it will solve the purpose of a customer. So that's how design is something which actually create impact on the psychology of the customer, and that's how you keep on focusing on improving the design again and again. And that's why you are paying a huge amount of money over the period of time as well. So this is how today you will focusing more on the customer design actually. Now, one last thing I would like to discuss before closing the session is what are the best practices if you are working with different type of designers, developers, sales, or customer support team. So when, as a product manager, when you work with a designer, first of all, understand their mindset. What kind of design they have in their mind, what type of prototype, what type of wireframe they are creating, and have a look whether it will solve the problem of a customer. Give as much minute detail as possible so that they will come up with a better design. With the developers, always have a document in place. Don't share any requirement without having a documentation. Because if you say something and if they interpret different thing, they will develop something and it's pure wastage of time. So always have a PRD documentation in place while having an interaction with them. Coming to sales team, always have number ready in your mind. Like how much product you want to sell, for whom you want to sell, what is the geography, what is the demography, and most important, what is the target persona, and in how much time you want to sell that. That number should be there in the mind. When you are dealing with the higher management, always have a plan in your mind, like short-term goal, long-term goal, and what are the benefit you want to provide for the customer, and how you are going to conduct the research in hand. And finally, the customer support team, like what will happen is suppose if any problem comes up, what will be the backup plan, what will be the fallback plan, so that if things don't go well, then how you can restore back to the normal stage. And what is the criteria to accept the request or queries at a later stage. So these are the best practices as a product manager you should keep in mind while dealing with the different type of stakeholders. You become master only over the time basis because it requires a lot of experience, a lot of negotiation skills to become a master here. So that's all from my side. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Yes, I was asked a question in the interview that what are the disputes that a product manager faces while they are interacting with the stakeholders that are involved.
There are different type of dispute are involved. First is in terms of the timeline. You say something that it will take 2 weeks, others saying that I can do in 1 day or 2 day. So first of all, dispute actually coming in terms of the timeline. Second type of dispute actually comes up in terms of the design. Like customer want, you can say different kind of menu options, and you are actually preferring from your mindset. So your design is actually not suitable for the customer requirement, or maybe from the business perspective, because ultimately business has to come up. So that kind of conflict on the design will also comes up. Third type of conflict is actually coming up in understanding the, you can say, queries from the different stakeholders. You say something, but they interpret in a different way, and that's how the conflict actually comes up. And altogether, they deliver something which you don't want, and that's why it create a later surprise over the time passes. So these type of major conflict actually happen when you work with the designers, engineers, as well as the business stakeholders.
Okay. And for such scenarios in which at the very end point the deliverables are different from the required ones, how do you cater to those situations?
So repeat your question once again, Aditya.
At the end of a point when in which you have to deliver the features, and whatever you have been asked for is not delivered, like there's a difference in the understanding of the feature for the development team and the marketing team. So how do you deal with that?
Okay, so you have to first of all invite the business stakeholders in the sprint planning meeting, and always have a conversation straight away with the developers as well as the designers. So that is mandatory, because unless if you don't have their availability in the initial stages, then the planning will not be in the right direction, and ultimately they will deliver something. So in order to avoid those kind of things, always include in the sprint planning as well as in the sprint review. Because if any mistake happen in the first sprint, then in the subsequent sprint, the same mistake will never be happen.
Yeah.
So always involved in initial planning as well as initial review. At least first two, 3 sprint, you should involve it. Later on, their availability is not required.
Okay. Okay. And are there any specific situational problems or disputes that occur between the development team and the marketing team? Because I think these are the basic, most important components of development.
Dispute happen. It will depend upon, you can say, competitor offering, what they are providing, why they are providing, and also you don't spend too much time in the conducting the user or market research. So if you take the decision immediately without conducting the entire research, then ultimately it will create impact, and conflict may happen at the later stage. So it's always better you should do your own research as well as take the reference from the secondary research outcome also.
Okay.
तो अपना रिसर्च तो खुद करो ही करो, किसी और ने जो रिसर्च किया उसको भी आइडेंटिफाई करो, उसके भी गैप्स आइडेंटिफाई करो, एंड कंसोलिडेटेड यू प्लान द थिंग्स अकॉर्डिंगली.
ठीक है सर, एक और क्वेश्चन. जब फीडबैक्स आते हैं डिफरेंट टीम से, जैसे डेवलपमेंट टीम से फीचर्स के लिए आता है फीडबैक, और सीएसएम और सेल्स टीम्स लाती है फ्रॉम द कस्टमर्स, तो ये सारी चीजों को ये रोड मैप में प्रायोरिटाइज कैसे करते हैं? लाइक कि कौन से फीचर पे अपने हम लोग वर्क करने वाले हैं? हाउ डू वी प्रायोरिटाइज दैट?
बता तो दिया आपको, वो जो मेथड बताए हैं, वेटेज शॉर्टेज ऑफ फर्स्ट, और मोस्को टेक्निक, और विबनो की बेस्ड प्लानिंग पोकर टेक्निक, ये वाले मेथड आते हैं ना बीच में.
तो ये सारे वैल्यूज डिफाइन होते हैं, मतलब डिमांड पे, कस्टमर्स
डिमांड पे एक्सपेक्टेड रेवेन्यू आउटकम पे, दोनों पे होते हैं.
ओके.
और आपके डेवलपर बताते हैं कितना टाइम लगेगा उसको बनाने के लिए.
ठीक. ओके. ओके सर. ओके.
Anyone having any other questions? Mansi and Rahul, Tejasvi, Vinay, Vishal, any questions? You are completely silent since the beginning.
No, thank you. Can you share the PPT with us, as it's right now very overwhelming for me? So if I go through it once, it would be great, and I can.
You can connect with Bhavna. She will share with you.
Okay, thank you.
So one of the basic questions that I that I face in the interviews is mostly like people ask like, okay, what are the contents of a product roadmap?
Product roadmap.
Uh,
So that I already told you. Now objective should be.
yeah, you told us, but well, see, that's the most frequent question that we always see. Okay,
Okay.
so
So in that particular roadmap, first of all, you should have the most important component is your stakeholder. How many stakeholders are involved? Second is your timeline. And third is what features you want to build. And fourth is how you are going to improve at a later stage. That the most important component in your roadmap. किसके लिए बना रहे हो, क्यों बना रहे हो, कैसे बना रहे हो, और क्या impact उसका आएगा. So what, why, where, and how. These four things should be there in your roadmap.
Sir, or like how do we define what would be the long-term goals and what would be the short-term goals for a particular product?
देखो शॉर्ट टर्म गोल होता है आपका कस्टमर एक्वायर करना और कस्टमर रिटेन करना, एंड लॉन्ग टर्म गोल आपका बिजनेस पे जाता है. So if you give more priority on the business first rather than the customer, then you will not be able to play for a long duration in the market. So first, your goal should be on the customer acquisition, customer adoption, and customer retention. Long-term goal should be based upon profit maximization or revenue maximization. That's how you can define it.
Okay.
Priyank, I also had one small question.
Yeah.
I was able to understand user stories and OKR like individually, but like just can you summarize like what is the relationship between OKR and user stories? Like how are they interrelated in a product life cycle?
Okay, OKR stands for objective and key result. Objective means the agenda, what you want to do. Okay, in order to achieve that objective, what are the expected result you want? And in order to build those particular result, what are the individual requirements you have to lay down on the ground? That is your user story. जैसे मैंने आपको फ्लिपकार्ट का एग्जांपल दिया था, फ्लिपकार्ट के एग्जांपल में सपोज यू हैव टू इंक्रीज द चेकआउट रेट, मतलब ज्यादा से ज्यादा कस्टमर फ्लिपकार्ट में जाए, फ्लिपकार्ट पे आए और परचेस करें. Then in order to achieve that particular objective, to increase the business for the Flipkart, you have to understand the point why customer get dropped off at the last stage, how you can increase their probability. और उसको अचीव करने के लिए आपको इंडिविजुअल स्टेप लेने पड़ेंगे. दैट इज योर यूजर स्टोरी. जैसे रिड्यूस द नंबर ऑफ स्टेप्स, increase the different mode of payment gateway, increase the chances so that customer can connect to the IVR, so that if they face any trouble they can directly connect with the customer care. वो आपकी user story आ गई.
Okay, which means there can be multiple user stories in an OKR as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So I believe there is no further question. In case if you have, you can drop your query onto the Telegram channel. I would be happy to respond that. And see you in the next class. I think the next class would be after 2-3 weeks, which I will take especially on how to create a resume and how to prepare for the PM interviews. Rest of the module, I think they will be taken care of by the other mentors, just like you can say tech for the PM, as well as product marketing, product growth, that will be taken care by different mentor. Okay.
Just a sec. Like Priya, am I missing something because I was not in the yesterday's session? And as you mentioned right now, that is Telegram group. I have not joined the Telegram
But there
group.
is, I think, one common community is there. You can check with Bhavna. She will be, or Jangir, they will help you on this. There is one common community where everyone has joined, and if they have any query, they will actually post it there.
Okay.
You can check with them. They will tell you. Okay.
Priya, can I ask one question?
Yeah.
Is Agile is having only Scrum framework?
No, multiple. Agile has Scrum, Kanban, XP, TDD, BDD. Multiple frameworks are there.
Okay. And what is the difference between waterfall model and Agile model?
Waterfall model is the old method when you build the entire product together in one lot. Just like suppose if you have 1 month duration, then in 1 month you deliver the product in 100% mode. Whereas in case of Scrum, what you do, you deliver in the pieces, like 25% requirement you picked first, you build, then test and launched in the market. Then once it is launched, then pick up another 25%, then deliver it. Then pick up another third sample, work on that, deliver it. And then pick the last sample, work on that and deliver it. So you are working in pieces, or you can say increment. Whereas in case of waterfall, you build the product together. जैसे मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ, आप घर बना रहे हो, घर तो आप पीसेस में नहीं बना सकते, घर तो पूरा ही बनेगा। ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आपने एक कमरा बना लिया, फिर दूसरा कमरा बनाओगे, फिर तीसरा कमरा बनाओगे, वो तो पॉसिबल नहीं है ना। बट अगर आप बना रहे हो घर, तो पूरा फ्लोर आप एक साथ बनाओगे। जब एक फ्लोर तैयार हो जाएगा, फिर दूसरा बना लोगे, वो तरीका ठीक है। तो घर आपका एक तरीके से वाटरफॉल पे बन रहा है, बट फ्लोर आपके इंक्रीमेंटल तरीके से बन रहे हैं। सिमिलरली फ्लाईओवर, जब आप फ्लाईओवर बनाते हो, रोड के ऊपर जब चलते हो, तो फ्लाईओवर भी वाटरफॉल में बनता है। ऐसा तो है नहीं कि दो पिलर खड़े हो गए, उसके ऊपर से व्हीकल लेके चले जाओगे। जब तक पूरा फ्लाईओवर तैयार नहीं होगा, सारा रूफ क्रिएट नहीं होगा, तो अब आप उसका व्हीकल चला नहीं सकते। बट एक आपका फ्लाईओवर बन गया, उसके बाद दूसरा फ्लाईओवर बनाओगे, तीसरा बनाओगे, वो आपकी इंक्रीमेंटल वे में बनेगा।
अच्छा,
ठीक है,
ठीक है, थैंक यू।
You're welcome. Okay, see you in the next class. Thank you so much. Have a great evening and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
Thanks for this wonderful session, Priyank. You have a great day, everyone too.
Thank you. Bye.